There you go. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, YouTubers, whoever may be watching, we're getting ready to start the net. It'll be just a couple of minutes that you'll have to hang out with us here. Let me see if I've got the right script this time. Let's see. I think this is part of it. This is something else. Alright, I think those two, that's my trouble is I've been using the first page of one script and the second page of another, and they don't quite mesh. Yeah, this is I think what it's supposed to be. Alright, maybe I can get it right this time. Oh, this says the last Friday of the month.
All this time that you've had to prepare, and you're just now looking at it.
This is my time to prepare.
We've been sitting here twiddling our thumbs.
Okay. Well, speak for yourself. My thumbs have not been twiddled.
Oh, yes, they have.
You see any calluses on these thumbs? They're twiddleless.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right.
Got it?
It doesn't make any difference at this point, does it? Let's see. This is in my way. All right. 2 minutes. Now I gotta pee.
Why do you gotta have a script?
Look, I barely know what I'm doing to begin with.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS.
You're just showing off. All right. Why do I have to have a script? I don't have any idea what to say.
Oh, you find plenty to say. You talk more than any chick I know.
Whatever.
You do.
Besides, what chicks do you know?
I know a couple.
I don't think the Red 40 and Atlanta 911 qualify. No hat tonight. I probably should put the hat on. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a little shiny.
Well, yeah.
The glare off your head. Blind everybody out there.
Well, I'll just have to turn the brightness down on her monitor. Because it's so bright right here.
Yeah.
All right. Need a paperweight right there. All right. Half a minute. Well, we haven't really started yet, Tom, but we're getting ready to go here in about 15 seconds.
Getting tired of your banter already, huh?
Yeah.
What's all that? What did you do?
Nothing. I guess somebody else wants to be in that control tonight.
Well, that's all right.
I didn't notice
Bring
which repeater that was on.
There you go.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. I'll be working off of the Sassafras repeater tonight, but we'll be networked in with Pine Log, Lookout Mountain, Ball Ground, Madison, Jersey, Somerville, McDonough, Columbus, Noonan, Zebulon, Moreland, and Zello. Tonight our RF coverage will be in excess of 31,000 square miles. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. I would like to thank everyone who has made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active GMRS network in the country. Your net control tonight is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. Let me break. My name is Justin, and I'm located in Woodstock, Georgia. On the net tonight, we can talk about our Hamfest treasure hunting activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to know. This is a family-based network, so we encourage you to get your family involved. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. The use of your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in and sign out of the net. When signing in, please speak slowly and clearly as you give your tactical unit number first, call sign, name, and location. And please remember to key that mic just a moment before you begin speaking so that we can catch the beginning and end of your transmission. At this time, I'll take check-ins, and we're looking for youth check-ins, 18 and under. Any youth members of the North Georgia GMRS net, please call net control now. All right. Gotta have my paperweight back. And I didn't get any youth last week, so we might not get any this week.
Atlanta 403 WRAT 241 to net control, important message.
Atlanta 403, go ahead, Bobby.
Sassafras may not be linked tonight.
Well, yeah, you know, now that you mentioned it, I notice it's not lighting up on the system manager. That's interesting.
I think you better bump it to Pine Log, see what happens.
Atlanta 261 break.
The Atlanta 261, come on.
Net control, I noticed that Pine Log is dead on about 4 of my radios, but Sassafras comes in just as sweet as can be.
Huh?
Yeah, all right, yeah, we're noticing that we don't seem to have any link activity. And now that I'm looking through the system manager, I notice that Sassafras is not listed, so it has apparently dropped out of the link system. So our plan for the week was to run off of Sassafras, so I think we're going to run off of Sassafras. And maybe while we're doing this, we can get our network friends to restore the link.
I'm on Sassafras as we speak.
Who was that?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, then let me go ahead and continue. I'm going to call out one more time for youth check-ins, if we have any, and then we'll go ahead and move on. All right. I want you to text Gary and tell him Sassafras link is down. Okay, hearing nothing for youth check-ins and understanding that we are standalone on the Sassafras repeater. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and take any Sassafras repeater check-ins. Anyone checking in on a Sassafras repeater, please call net control now.
This is 253 WQNV 274, Donald from Waleska, Georgia. WRAT 241, Atlanta 403.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, somebody doubled. It's almost like they keyed up on them on purpose.
This is Alabama 672 WRDH 403. My name is Gerlin. I am in Powell, Alabama.
Gary's looking into it.
Okay.
This is Atlanta 261 WRCT 399, Scott from Holly Springs, checking in on the Sassafras repeater.
Tom Colvin.
Hang up. Okay, yeah, we can't take phone calls right now. At this time, net control will acknowledge Atlanta 253, Donald in Waleska. Thank you, Donald, for checking in with us tonight. Next, I have Atlanta 403, Bob in White County. Thank you, Bob, for checking in. That brings me to Alabama 762. 672. 672 is what I have written down. Apparently I am having a dyslexic moment, Gerlin. But thank you for checking in from Powell, Alabama. And we have Atlanta 261, Scott, in Holly Springs. Do we have any other Sassafras Mountain repeaters? Repeater check-ins. Please call net control now.
Says it's up now. Sounds good on Noonan.
This is Atlanta 57 WQZC 882, Andrew in Holly Springs.
Okay. All right, Atlanta 57, Andrew in Holly Springs. Thank you for that. It appears as though our link has been restored. So at this time, I'm going to ask for any Pine Log check-ins. Any Pine Log or any Sassafras check-ins, please call net control now.
Waters CW219, Atlanta 23, Midge 1, Holly Springs. WQWW603, I'm clear, be a short timer tonight.
Okay, so Alex is in and out. Okay. All right, at this time, net control will acknowledge Atlanta 57. Maybe I've already gotten you, Andrew, but I got you again in Holly Springs. Thank you for checking in with us tonight. I have Atlanta 23, Mitchell, also in Holly Springs. Thank you, Mitchell. Love to hear from you tonight. And I believe I heard Somerville 10 in there, checking in and out. He said he was short time tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us, Alex. Hope to hear from you if you get an opportunity after bit. At this time, net control will take any youth check-ins, any youth members that didn't get the opportunity to check in while the link was down. If you're still out there and you'd like to check in, we'll go to you first. So any youth members, any repeater, anywhere, net control.
I can't get back in.
Fours, 6 fours.
I don't think we got any.
Yeah, it doesn't look that way. Okay, hearing nothing from the youth on Pine Log either. We're going to go ahead and move on. No youth this evening. That's okay. At this point, we'll take check-ins from any repeater, anywhere, from anyone. Please call net control now.
Quiet night.
This is Noonan 25, Joe, WRCL 957 on Zello. The Zello link just came back up too. I'm short time, Justin. I'm driving, so I'll just wave at you.
This is McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge, WRCR 952, and the link seems very intermittent tonight. I didn't get anything till 5 minutes after, and then you dropped out on me for about another minute, and then came back in, so I'm not sure if I'm even getting out or not there, Roger.
All right. Would you, oh, never mind. Let's see.
What are you doing?
40.
QXN 735, checking in, checking out. Alfonso from Marietta.
Is he ATL 92?
948, WRR 430.
Hey, caps lock.
Kept me in and out, cut.
in and out.
Okay, at this time, Net Control will acknowledge our Zello check-in this evening from Joe, Noonan 25. Thank you, Joe, for checking in while you're driving, and hope you reach your destination safely. I've got you in here as in and out. And also I have McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge. And Tim, we are aware of the linking issue at the beginning of the net, and hopefully it's been resolved at this point. We got your check-in loud and clear. From Facebook, I have Noonan40 and Noonan41. They're going to be in and out due to the Facebook check-in. So thank you, Larry and Phyllis, for checking in with us this evening. And that brings me to Atlanta 92. Alfonso, I didn't hear where you were at, but you sounded like you were in the middle of things. Was Alfonso in and out?
I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that either. So I'm going to leave you just marked in for now. And if you're not available when we call you, that's okay. And finally, I have Atlanta 948. Gary, right here in Woodstock. And Gary, I have you in the log as in and out. Thank you for checking in with us this evening. With that, one more call for check-ins, and then we'll go to the top.
I can't get my mouse to move over there.
Yeah, it's crowded in there, isn't it? Get this out of your way, and maybe get that out of your way. And
I can't seem to get to the other screen. There we go.
Okay, I'm not hearing any more check-ins, so let me fix this before I go back on the air. All right, I think we're close enough. All right. Okay, well, not hearing any additional check-ins. It might be a light evening tonight. That's okay. Let's go to the top. We have, well, before we do that, let me just start off by saying that Hamfest season is upon us. I'm looking forward to Saturday's Hamfest in Chattanooga, and shortly thereafter on November 2nd and 3rd, the Stone Mountain Hamfest, where we'll have an opportunity to visit and meet with a lot of our North Georgia GMRS friends and hopefully meet some new friends. So we're excited about that, and I'm excited about the Hamfest in general and looking forward to that. With that in mind, I kind of wanted to talk tonight about the Hamfest experience and what is it that you look for and where do you look for it when you go to the Hamfest. So with that, let's go to Atlanta 253, Donald in Waleska, and let's see if Donald has been taking care of himself or if he's fallen down any stairs lately.
No, Justin, I have not been falling down any steps. I've been dog sitting the last couple of days.
Excellent. How's that working out? You've had that pup for about a week now, right?
I got rid of him Tuesday night, so I'm missing him.
We've got 3 he can watch.
Well, I tell you what, we might be able to make some dog sitting arrangements for you so you don't have to miss that one so much.
Yeah, so he got me moving, so I've been lazy less since I've gotten rid of him.
Well, dogs are excellent for that, to get you up and moving and out of the house and get some exercise and get the heart rate up and make your feet hurt.
Yeah, I thought it would bother my leg walking him, but I think after just me sitting around has made my leg hurt worse.
Well, that's probably true, and it's highly likely that the exercise is doing you more good than you realize. So you might think about that. Maybe you need to go adopt a dog.
I wish I had time for one.
No, I hear you. Well, Donald, do you have any Hamfest treasures you're in pursuit of?
No, but I think we're going to the Stone Mountain Hamfest. I don't think we're going to be able to make the one up there at Chattanooga.
Well, that's all right.
Well, that's perfect. I'd love to have you at the Chattanooga Ham Fest, but if it was going to be one or the other, I'd rather have you at Stone Mountain. So I know the Chattanooga is not going to be the one that everyone makes, and that's okay. I mean, we can't all be at all of them, and I know that I've certainly missed my share. Um, would have loved to have gone to the Atlanta Ham Fest this year, but we had a vacation trip scheduled that same week, and then they canceled the silly thing. So I missed it, but I didn't miss it. So I guess that works out. Looking forward to that one next year. But well, Donald, that's okay, and we're excited about the Stone Mountain Ham Fest, and we look forward to seeing you and your dad there.
Hopefully we'll be able to make it. Both of us will.
Outstanding. All right, Donald. Well, good luck on your search for a rescue puppy. I'm not sure if that's what you'll do, but if you make that choice, I think it'd be a good one. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Atlanta. 403, we're hearing him booming in from White County.
Well, good evening, network people. Yeah, it's good to hear I'm booming in from White County. And leaves are starting to drop, so I guess I'm getting in better. And, yeah, I'll tell you the truth, last year when I met you all, it was the first Ham Fest I've ever been to, and I thought the Boneyard was fascinating. I love the old radios and stuff. The new stuff's great, but the old stuff is got history, and it's kind of cool, and I just love looking at the old stuff. My dad used to have a lot of old radios. So. And, yeah, well, we're expecting some cold weather up here tonight, so I'm getting the house all locked up and ready to hang and maybe even start a fire in the fireplace.
What?
That's about all I got on this end, and hopefully this year I'll see you at the Stone Mountain Ham Fest. Depends on what my Florida plans are.
All right. Well, I'd hate to get in the way of your Florida plans, but sure would enjoy hanging out with you for a little bit at the Stone Mountain Ham Fest. And yeah, so I'm not sure when you're planning on going to Florida. You'd said you were going to see if you could push that back a week or two. But if you can't do it, then we'll find some other excuse to get together and hang out. But pleasure talking with you, and glad to hear that you have had the opportunity to explore the Ham Fest. And yeah, I have to agree, the Boneyard is a fascinating place to explore. Um, there's a lot of other people's junk in that Boneyard, but there's also that one thing that you just got to have. You just got to find it. So that's very cool. All right, Bobby, I'm going to go ahead and move on to our friend in Alabama, Gerlin, from Powell, Alabama. Gerlin, how are you doing this evening?
Justin, doing good, and I'm copying you real good on Sassafras and pretty much everybody else. I tried wanted to tune in one of the other repeaters while it was down, and that didn't work, so I just came back to this one, and it was going good still. So, yeah, doing good here, and I'm hoping maybe to get to go to Chattanooga Ham Fest, and might run into you up there if I get to go. I usually do go to that one. I have not been to the one at Stone Mountain, but I really want to go to that, and I've been hearing a lot about it. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Justin. Alabama 672.
Well, that's fantastic, girl, and I hope you are able to make it to the Chattanooga Ham Fest this weekend. And we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for you. Atlanta 60 and I will be there checking things out. And yeah, I hope to have the opportunity to visit with you for a little bit. And yes, the Stone Mountain Ham Fest is a good one. They have a really respectable number of vendors that show up, both in the Boneyard and in the exhibit hall. We're going to be in the exhibit hall at North Georgia GMRS, so if you have an opportunity to go, be sure to look for us there. At noon on Saturday, I'll be speaking to the hams there about GMRS and how that can work as part of their communications options for as ham operators. acquiring a GMRS license and using that in addition to their ham comms. So look forward to that. Gerlin, it's a pleasure talking with you, and glad that you were able to find us on Sassafras. And just as a note, we're resuming the practice of alternating repeaters. So each week we transmit from a different repeater. So this week we're on Sassafras. Next week we'll be on Pine Log. The week after that we'll be back on Sassafras, and so on. So that's a good idea if you can't hear us on the one to check the other. We did start off this evening with a linking problem, but that's been resolved. So we should be on both at this moment. So thank you, Gerlin. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Atlanta 261. Scott in Holly Springs. Scott, what kind of treasures will you seek at the Ham Fest?
Okay, sir. We'll try this out. Yes, both repeaters are. Pine Log is rocking now. I should be transmitting on Sassafras. But the question, this will be my first Ham Fest. I was looking forward to the last one in Atlanta. They got canceled. So actually, I think I'm going to look for an old vintage AM radio, wood case, just the oldest little AM radio. Over.
Outstanding. That sounds like something that is most likely going to be available there. And if you can't find the radio there, just talking with some of the vendors, somebody's likely going to know where you can find one. So, and that's part of it, is just networking with people and getting to know not only just what's at the Hamfest, but some of these folks know people that didn't come to the Hamfest, but they have, those kind of things. So connections, networking, that's a great plan. And I'd say there's an excellent chance you'll find a radio that you're looking for at the Hamfest. Outstanding. Well, thank you, Scott, for that. And yes, you came in quite well on the Sassafras repeater, so that works out. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Atlanta 5-7. Andrew in Holly Springs. Andrew, what are you looking for at the Hamfest?
Good evening, Justin, everyone on the net. The thing I'm most looking forward to is hopefully passing my general. That's pretty much my main goal for going, and seeing everyone else is definitely on that list as well. But that's definitely the primary objective to start with. Hopefully I'm going to go to the very first testing session that they have, go ahead and knock that bad boy out, and then, move on with the rest of the day a little more confident, I guess you could say. So as far as going for any type of equipment or anything like that, I do not have anything in my sights for that whatsoever at the moment. I think I'm pretty well covered currently now. Of course, once the horizon broadens a little bit more with the general, you never know what I might want a little bit further down the road. But at the moment, I'm fairly content.
Very cool.
Outstanding. Well, I highly encourage you to pursue the general, and after you achieve that, continue on. It just doesn't hurt to have the additional knowledge and the additional bands that you can operate in. So that's excellent that you're going to be able to take that Saturday off and be at the Hamfest. And we're excited to hear of the results, and I'm sure we'll see you just as soon as you're done with that test. So
be able to celebrate with
you. We're looking forward to cracking open a Diet Mountain Dew and toasting to your success. So thank you for that, Andrew. And with that, I'm going to move on to Atlanta 2-3. Mitchell, also in Holly Springs. Mitchell, how are you doing this evening?
Was he in and out?
He might have been in and out. All right. I'm not sure if my voice is going to make it through the night. Okay, hearing nothing, I'm going to assume that Mitchell was in and out. Mitchell, if you're just having trouble getting in and you need to try again, I'd invite you to come back when we open the floor, and we'd love to hear your comments at that time. But for now, I'm just going to assume that you were in and out, and I'm going to move on to next in line is Somerville 10, Alex in Canton. Alex was short time this evening, checking in and out, so he may come back to us later, and he may not. But thank you, Alex, for checking in with us tonight. We're glad to have you along. Moving on to to Noonan 25, Joe. Joe was driving. I'm not sure where he was going this evening, but he was able to make a quick check-in on Zello. So thank you, Joe, for checking in with us tonight. Appreciate that. And that brings me next to McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge. Tim, are you going to go to the Hamfest? And if you go, what are you looking for?
I kind of doubt it, Justin. I was kind of hoping to, but got some family issues. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. And since I'm not a ham, I don't know exactly what I would be looking for. I don't know if they have, GMRS stuff there, but funds are a little bit tight now anyway, so I probably won't be able to go, and not really needing any other equipment right now, or of course there's always something you would like to have, but I'd like to have a nice base rig set up for my GMRS instead of the handheld, but other than that, not much to report there, Roger.
Well, yeah, and I hear that. And, there are some GMRS pieces of equipment that can be found at the Hamfest. It's not as prevalent, obviously, but there's some 440 megahertz radios that will do GMRS and are Part 90. So any of those radios would be suitable. And Atlanta 60 will have a certain amount of stock available at the Hamfest. I know that he's going to have some GMRS radios, and he also usually has a box of speakers and a box of microphones and a box of cords and other things that are in boxes and not in boxes. So feel free to come and peruse the North Georgia GMRS table and look for any deals that he brings along. He very often has some GMRS radios that are already programmed and ready to power up. You just bring your own power supply and your own antenna, and it's plug and play from there. So those are great radios to acquire. And of course, there's going to be all kinds of things in the boneyard. Even if you're not a ham, if you're just an electronics guy, Hamfests can be really interesting places to go to look for parts, projects, ideas. It's just a swap meet for nerds. There's computer stuff, there's all kinds of technology, and there's also some interesting things that are generally on display. So it's not always a matter of buying things. There are educational forums and speakers that are going to give presentations, and all the big vendors will be there to show off their fancy ICOM radios and things of that nature. So that's very cool. And I believe Noonan 25 will be there with the ARRL for anybody that has any ham radio questions or any issues that they'd like to direct with the ARRL. Joe will be there along with other members of the ARRL to converse with. So that's a great opportunity to meet with that organization. So thank you, Tim, for all of that. And with that, I'm going to move on to Noonan 40. Larry. Larry checked in on Facebook tonight. Thank you for that, Larry. And he's in and out. Also have Noonan 41. Phyllis, who also checked in on Facebook. Thank you for those check-ins. And those are the only check-ins I see on Facebook at this point. So, and that's okay. But just want to put that out there that if anybody else is wanting to check in on Facebook, now would be a really good time to do that. Next on my list is Atlanta 92 Alfonso. I didn't hear if you were in and out, Alfonso, but it's great to hear from you. And same question, what kind of treasures might you be looking for at the Hamfest?
I completely lost the last 30, 40 seconds of your transmission, Justin. I was watching the status servers on the internet, so I saw the light go off on the SATSFAST repeater, so I was just saying that I would like to be there to meet everybody, and I did get a radio from ATL 60. That's my mobile. I have that, very happy with it, and I'd be nice to meet him and see how what all kind of stuff he has, and might buy a couple of trinkets there. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and drop out and turn it back over to Net Control. Appreciate all the good words, and just things keep dropping out for me down here tonight, so I will sign off.
All right, Tim. Well, thank you for that, and appreciate all of that. Yes, Gary does have some nice equipment, and he has gear that would make a great base radio. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Atlanta 92, Alfonso. Alfonso, are you still in here with us, or were you in and out?
You need the beep. The timeout beeper.
Oh, for crying out loud. You hush. Why are you not in this chair?
Because this is too much fun.
Oh, for crying out loud. Are you going to check in or not? All right, we're hearing nothing from Alfonso, so I'm going to assume that he was in and out tonight. Thank you, Alfonso. I'm glad to hear that you were able to check in with us, and we look forward to talking with you again real soon. That brings me next to Atlanta 948, Gary here in Woodstock. Gary was also in and out tonight. Thank you, Gary, for checking in. Glad to hear from you. And that brings me to the end of my list. So, at this time, North Georgia GMRS Net will take any late check-ins, any kind of questions or comments. Please call Net Control now.
Net Control. This is Atlanta 131, WRAS 502, Morgan and Cleveland. I'll be in and out.
All right.
QYJ 279, Nick and Ackworth. I'll be in and out. Good evening.
Nobody wants to talk to me. All right.
You're pretty windy.
This is Atlanta 33, WRBT 231, Davis and Fayetteville, in and out.
Okay, Net Control will acknowledge Atlanta 131, Morgan in Cleveland. Thank you, Morgan, for checking in with us tonight. I have you in a log as in and out. And I also have Atlanta 291, Nick in Ackworth. Nick, thank you for taking the time to check in with us tonight. It's great to know that you're out there. I've got you in a log as well, in and out. And I have Atlanta 33, Davis in Fayetteville, also in and out. Thank you, Davis, for checking in with us tonight. Do we have any additional check-ins? Please call Net Control now.
Do I need to hit that to check in and out?
Or that one.
Oh. This is Atlanta 947, WQIR 514, Julie in Studio B, in and out.
Net Control will acknowledge Atlanta 947, Julie, pressing the buttons in as many ways as she can over here at Studio B. Thank you for checking in with us tonight. And one last call for check-ins or comments. The floor is open. Where's my page at? All right, let's see. Here we go. Okay, well then, hearing nothing at this time, I will conclude the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. We had a total of 19 check-ins, including myself. Net Control will be returning the repeater back to normal use. Everyone that signed in should sign out. Thank you for allowing me to be your Net Control tonight. Good night, everyone, Atlanta 946, WQIR 514, clear.
This is 253 WQNB 274, clear.
Oh, I was pretty net tonight, all things considered. Atlanta 403, WRAP 241. Clear and monitoring.
This is.
Atlanta 33, WRBT 231, clear.
That double there, sorry. This is Alabama 672, WRDH 403, clear.
Yeah, but let's make sure everybody's checked out. And maybe they have. Yeah, we probably should have kept these on. But that's all right. Yeah, let's go ahead and close out the Facebook. Just one moment.
McDonough 22, WRCR 952, clear on the net.
All right, YouTube folks, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
This is Atlanta 261, WRCT. Thank you, Net Control, for the pep talk Saturday. We passed. Atlanta 261, WRCT.
Oh, he says he passed.
KN4
That's
SLT.
cool. I wish you'd have said that earlier.
See you on the other side.
On the other side. All right. Okay, YouTube folks, we're going to go ahead and close out the live feed. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening, and we hope that this was a worthwhile presentation. Look forward to visiting with all of you next time. I'll be clear.